In the previous videos, we studied about the powers of the president, the executive powers, the legislative powers, the judicial powers, the emergency powers, and we also studied about the discretionary powers. In this video, I'll be teaching you, reading and explaining to you the position of the president and the limitations of the president. That means how many powers he has, what is his actual position in our country. Under the parliamentary system, the president is a constitutional or nominal head of the state. He represents the Indian nation but does not rule it. The person who is ruling it is actually the prime minister, but the person who is considered as being the head of it is the president. Now, the limitations of the president. There are two main limitations of the president. There is the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers to aid and advise the President in the exercise of his powers discussed above. Now, whatever powers that the President has, it's the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers that help the President to reach to a certain decision, right? The power of the President are in fact exercised by the real executive, that is the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Though the President is the person who gives the final say, but who helps him to reach to that point where he has to make a decision is the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. They are the mind behind it. Okay. All proclamation of emergency is made by the President under Articles 352, 356 and 360 have to be laid before the Parliament for approval within a month. If a proclamation of emergency is not approved, it becomes null and void and cease to operate. That means, before a president has certain powers, a month in advance, whatever decision he has to be, whatever has to be made, has to be brought before the Parliament, and only then can it be approved, and only then can it reach to the next level. If it isn't approved, then it becomes it doesn't serve any purpose, and it will not be considered. It will be a null case, a void case, a pointless, and it will not operate. That means it will not be brought into functioning. Now we're going to study about the vice president. There is also a vice president of India. Under the constitution, he is also the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Venkataya Naidu is the present vice president of India. So you should know these names. What are his qualifications? What qualifications must he possess? He must be a citizen of India. He must be not less than 35 years of age. He must be qualified for the elections as a member of the Rajya Sabha. He should not hold office of profit under the center or the state government. His functions are same as the functions of the president. His qualifications. These are the same qualifications that a president requires, a vice president also requires. Now his term. He is elected for a term of 5 years unless earlier vacated by he is elected for a 5-year term unless earlier vacated by resigning in writing to the president. However, the vice president continues in office until the next successor joins the office. That means they have a 5-year term. Okay, the vice president has a 5-year term. If it's less than 5 years, there has to be a reason. Either he's resigned, and for him to resign, for his position to be empty, he has to give his resignation in written to who? To the President of India. Until the time a new vice president is elected. Till there is no vice president elected, he still remains in power. Till the time as there's a new vice president there to take over, then his term is completed. Now removal. He may be removed by a majority resolution of the Rajya Sabha supported by the Lok Sabha. That means if he has to be removed, it's the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. They have to get together and a majority has to decide whether he will be removed or he will continue with his services. Emoluments. He or she receives 4 lakhs per month in addition to the daily allowance as permissible to a MP. When he acts as the president, the vice president draws the same emoluments as the president draws. So he also has certain emoluments. what are their salary and whatever privileges he has, just as a MP, a Minister of President, and Minister of Parliament. And if there's a state of emergency, or if there's a situation where there is no president, then he is substituting the position of a president. So he is known as the temporary president at that point of time. So till the time he is the temporary president, he gets the privileges of a president. Now, election. How is he elected? The state legislature has no hand in the election of the vice president. Both the houses of the parliament sitting together elect the vice president. The nomination paper for the vice presidential candidate must be proposed by 20 MPs and seconded by 20 MPs as per ordinance of June 1997. He is also supposed to deposit 15,000 rupees as security. Now, how is he elected? He puts in a paper, that is a nomination paper, right? He wants to nominate himself for being in this position. So how does he get his position? It is all the people, that is the people of both the houses, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, they decide. Okay, 20 MPs and again 20 MPs, they have to approve. When they approve that he is a valid candidate for the vice president's position, only then will he be considered as being a person worthy of the position or the responsibility of a vice president. So first his nomination has to be cleared. Once his nomination is cleared, then the majority decides whether he is the vice president or not. Now, powers and functions of the vice president. He performs the following functions as chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So who is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha? It is the vice president of India. The vice president is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. As such, he regulates proceedings of the house. That means whenever there's any meeting, he makes sure that he conducts these meetings. He proceeds over them. He watches over them. He listens to them. He decides about the admissibility of a question or a resolution in the Rajya Sabha. Now, so when there's a meeting in the Rajya Sabha and certain questions are raised, he decides whether that question should be raised or not, whether they are valid or not in the Rajya Sabha meetings. As the vice president, he has no significant function except ceremonial, that is, to receive certain categories of VIPs from abroad. He takes over as the president as in case of the death of a president in office, resignation of the president, removal of the president. So you see, when you come up across the main function, he does ceremonial. That means only important where there's a ceremony, then only he has real power. But otherwise there is no such significant function of his. When there is president dies, he dies. Now there can be multiple reasons. Either he is assassinated or he has a natural death. He resigns. He voluntarily resigns from that post, or he is removed from that post, or in a certain case where he is unwell and he cannot attend a meeting. That is the only time when the president has the vice president has certain powers. When the president is not performing, when he is not present there, that's the time the vice president actually has some powers. Otherwise, he doesn't have any powers. It's just namesake, ceremonial powers. Now in the next videos, we are going to study about the Prime Minister of India. This is very important, so I want a separate video for it. What all powers and functions he has, what is his position, and that's what we end this chapter on in the next video about the Prime Minister.